Okay, for this tutorial, if you haven't seen the performance yet, that's alright, because I've actually made a slight modification from my original performance video. It was very important because I found a slight flaw in my original trick. It doesn't change the effect at all, it's the same trick, it's just a slight different way in how I present it at the beginning. So I'll just guide you step by step how to perform this trick and how it's done. So first off, being that it's an impromptu trick, you can use a borrowed deck of cards. Just make sure you remove both the jokers. And then have the spectator shuffle the cards as much as they like. And as they're shuffling, you can actually turn your back towards the spectator and emphasize that you don't want to see what they're doing. Once they've done shuffling, you can instruct the spectator to cut the deck any way they wish. And they are then to pick up the larger pile of the two, leaving the other pile on the table. And then you say to the spectator that we want to generate a random card for them to memorize. And to do this, they are to carefully and quietly count how many cards are in their hands. So they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So they should have a two-digit number in their mind, in this case, of course, 30. They are to add the two digits in their mind together, and so they arrive at a secret single-digit number. Now, if they get a two-digit answer, they are to add those two digits together until they arrive at a single digit. Now, they're going to use a single digit to deal the equal amount of cards as their single digit onto the pile on the table to arrive at a random card. So, in this case, they're thinking of 30. They add 3 and 0. That gives them 3, of course. So they're going to secretly and quietly deal 3 cards onto the pile on the table. They are then to peek at the card they arrive at and to note the value of that card. They are to memorize that value. That is going to be their secret random value that they're going to remember. So they are to turn the card back over and to cut the pile on the table and complete the cut to bury their secret value, 5 in this case. So what they're going to do next now is generate a random suit to go with their secret value. And to do this, they're simply going to deal off, again quietly, their secret value onto the packet on the table, and whatever card they arrive at, whatever suit that card is, that will be their random suit. So in this case, they're going to deal 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They peek at the card. They see it's a heart. They are then to combine their secret suit with their secret value. So in this case, they're thinking of the 5 of hearts. They're then told to turn the card back over and to cut the pile again and complete the cut to hide their secret suit. So in their minds, they have this totally random generated card, the 5 of hearts. At this point, you as the performer can turn back around, face the spectator, and remind them that there's no possible way you could know what card they've generated in their mind, and there's no way of knowing where this randomly generated card could be. I mean, it could be in the packet on the table, it could be in the packet in their hands. Now, they're thinking of the card 5 of hearts. Now, what you can instruct the spectator to do next is to deal all the cards into 5, 6, or 7 piles on the table. And before they deal, they can further mix the cards just to enhance the impossibility of any way of knowing where their card or what their card could be. So they shuffle the cards a little more and then have them deal the cards again into 5, 6, or 7 piles, starting with a packet in their hand. Now, this is a critical point in the performance where you as the performer are going to watch carefully how many cards they deal off this packet, because you need to know exactly how many cards are in this packet to clue in to what value they're thinking of. So they start dealing, let's say they deal 6 piles, and you instruct the spectator to deal the cards any way they wish, as long as they keep the piles fairly even though the piles don't have to be perfectly even, but as even as possible. So you're watching and secretly counting how many cards a spectator is dealing. So they've dealt 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So now you have the key number 22 in your mind. This is the number. This is the only number you need to remember to decipher what value they're thinking of. Now, you're remembering 22. You now have the spectator shuffle the remaining cards on the table to further, again, enhance that impossibility, and have them deal the rest of the cards any way they wish. You're remembering 22. They're thinking of the 5 of hearts. Now, they have no clue that you're going to be able to decipher what their value is at this point. Now, to decipher the value, you simply take the key number 22 in this case, and you look to what the next up-and-coming multiple of 9 after the key number is. So you know the next multiple of 9 after 22 is 27. So you simply take the difference from 22 up to 27, whatever that difference is, that number is their secret number. So in this case, it would be 5, because 5 plus 22 gives you 27. Okay? So as you know, the multiples of 9, starting with 9, the next one would be 18, the next multiple of 9 would be 27, and then the third one after that would be 36, and then after that 45. Okay, so you just want to look for what the next multiple of 9 is after your key number, and then subtract your key number from that multiple of 9. That will give you their secret value. Okay, now if the key number happens to be a multiple of 9 in itself, a 27 or an 18, for instance, you will then immediately know that the value they're thinking of is 9. Okay, it's that simple. Now, in this case, we've figured out that they're thinking of 5. So what we do is we look through each pile and we play like we're trying to get an impression of what their card is. So we look through each pile, but what you're actually doing is you're looking to make sure that the value 5 in this case is the only value in each of the piles, or whatever pile. Okay, so in this case we see that there's 2 5s, so what we're going to do is we're going to casually set one of the 5s at the bottom of the packet to ready it to unload onto another packet, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So we set that down, we're just playing like we're trying to get an impression. We see there's no 5s in this packet, so we can use this packet to load a 5 in. Okay, so we'll remember that and we'll set that packet down. And then we go on to the next packet. We see there's another packet with no 5. Okay, go through, we see there's 1 5 in this packet. That's perfect, that's what we need. Go through this one, we see there's 1 5 in this packet. Perfect. And we go through this and we see that there's no 5, so that's fine. I think there's no 5. Yeah. Okay, so all we need to do is load our 1 5 that we've put at the bottom on this packet onto another empty, another packet that doesn't contain another 5. So to do that, you're just going to play again like you're looking for impressions, but you're going to pick up 2 packets at the same time, and you're going to play like you're comparing the 2 packets to get to sort of compare impressions, which is more powerful. But what you're going to do is you're going to secretly just overlap the 2 piles as you're comparing them, and secretly slide the bottom 5 into the other pile, so that this pile is now loaded with the only 5 in it. And now you have this pile set with the only 5 left remaining in this pile. So now you have it set perfectly the way you want. Now at this point you can play like, okay, you've got sort of an idea what the card might be, but you want to pinpoint exactly what the card is. You don't know for sure yet. You just ask the spectator if they could just give you one little clue, and that being which pile their thought of card is in. Now again, they have no clue that you could even possibly know what their card is, so it's no big deal to them to just show you which pile the thought of card is in. So they go through and they look for their 5 of hearts. So if they find their 5 of hearts here, they can further shuffle the cards if they want before they hand the packet back to you. And you can play this out however you like, of course, and really, draw this out to make it look, effective. And, you obviously know what card they're thinking of because it's the only 5 in there. So then you end up, of course, revealing inevitably that they're thinking of the 5 of hearts, and that should totally amaze them. Now, in the case of 10s and court cards, I have to explain a little bit about this one. How you're going to know if it's a 10, a jack, queen, or king. Now, when you count the initial pile that they deal, initial packet, and you're looking for that key number, you're counting the cards, and you've then deciphered what the value is. If the value is a 1, 2, 3, or 4, they'll either represent themselves, ace, 2, 3, or 4, or they can also mean 10, jack, queen, or king, okay? So each of those values, those low values, have their higher card sort of counterpart that can mean the same thing. So in other words, 1 being ace can also mean 10, and you know this because the 2 digits in 10 when added together also equal 1. The same for jack, or 2s and jacks. Jacks are also represented by 2, because if you add the 2 digits in Jack 11, you get 2. The same for queens. Queens are represented by 3, because if you add the 2 digits in 12 for queen, you get a 3. And the same for king. If you add the 2 digits in 13, you get 4. So just remember that 1 can either mean an ace or a 10, 2 can mean either itself or a jack, 3 can either mean itself or a queen, and 4 can either mean itself or a king. Okay? So you're going to have 2 values in mind for one of those numbers if you arrive at that as your secret value that you've deciphered. So what you're going to do in that instance, when they've dealt out the piles, let's quickly show you here. Let's just say they've dealt out 6 piles again. Let's just say the value you've come up with was the secret value they're thinking of is 2. That tells you that it's going to be either, again, a 2 or a jack. Okay? So what you're going to be looking for are 2s and jacks in each pile. And you want to make sure that you either have a single 2 or a single jack in each pile, or you can at least have one of each value, a 2 and a jack, in the same pile. And I'll show you what we're going to do after that. So we go through, we see there's a jack, that's fine. In this pile we have 2 2s. We don't want 2 2s together. We have a jack also. So all we need in this pile is a jack and a 2. So you're going to leave one of the other 2s at the bottom of the pile to get ready to unload for another pile. Okay? So you go through, there's a jack, which is fine. We can use this pile to unload one of our 2s from into here. Okay? And we have another jack here. We can use this pile to unload another 2 if we wanted with this jack. In this pile we have no jacks or 2s, so we can unload any one of those cards there. Okay, so we have a jack there, that's fine. We have a 2 here, that's fine. And we have a jack, that's fine. A jack. So only this one here, the jack and 2 2s. We can get rid of one of the 2s into this pile. So we compare piles again like I've described to you before. Play like you're gauging which has a better impression. You secretly slide the other 2 into this pile. It's now loaded. You're now ready to go because you either have a jack and 2 in one pile, or you have a single 2 or a single jack in each pile. That's what you want. Now, when they reveal to you what pile their thought of card is in this instance, of course, if they reveal this pile, oh, I'm sorry, there's another 2 here. Okay, let's just say we've gotten rid of that 2 and put it in this pile with this jack, okay? So let's just say they reveal this pile as their thought of card. Now, in this case, you see that it can only be the 2. There is no jack in this pile. There's only just the 1 2, so you know right away that they're thinking of the 2 of diamonds. Now, in the case where they give you a pile, let's say, with a jack and a 2, you know it's going to be, of course, either the jack or the 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to load up a 2 or the jack at the bottom of the packet, okay? So you're going to play like you're looking for their card. You're simply going to load up one of the cards, the 2 or the jack, at the bottom of the packet, have it ready, and then all you're going to do is you're going to set the packet down on top of any other of the piles, gather up all the piles, and play like you're about to reveal what the card's going to be. And then pause for a moment and say, "Now hold on a second, I need to get a clearer impression. Just not quite, it's not quite perfectly there. I just want to make sure I do this right." So what you do is you play like you're going to pull off the packet off the top of the deck that you've left on top. But what you're going to do is you're going to leave one of the 2 cards on top of the deck. So you're going to leave the 2 in this case on top of the deck. You then take the packet, you look at it, you give it a shuffle so that there's no way you could possibly know what card the spectator is about to look at, because you're going to hand the packet back to the spectator, and you're not going to get any clue about what their card is. You're just simply going to ask the spectator to just look at their cards again, just to get a photo impression of what their card is, just to look at it in the pile. Now, they're either going to look at their card and say, okay, they see it, and you can then immediately know that the card they're looking at is this jack of diamonds, and you can decipher it right away and tell them what the card is, and that'll totally amaze them. Now, if they say they don't see their card in the packet, you'll know then that, of course, it'll be the 2 that you've taken away and left on the remaining cards. So if they tell you they don't see their card, you can say yes. You can play like, "Oh, I was just fooling you, because the card I know you were thinking of was indeed the 2 of spades," and you can just pull it off the top of the rest of the cards. And that will totally amaze them too, because again, they haven't given you any clue what their card could be. They won't suspect anything about this. The only clue they've given you is what pile it was in. So that should amaze them, and I think I've covered everything there. Boy, that was a tough one to, hopefully I get it in enough time here. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that one.